We back with it. Ooh, we back with it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's crackalating. Let's crackalating. What's popping? What's popping? What's popping? What's popping? We back with it. We back with it. Let's get to it. Let's get to it. Today is Thursday. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Hello, peace, Vert. What's popping? What's popping, Solo? Like and share. Amelia, what's popping? What's popping? Hi, same to you. Let's get to work. Much love, my brother. What's popping? Let's get to work. Let's get to work. Weekend load, you already know. Thanks for all the news and knowledge. Hey, thank you for supporting the channel. I appreciate you. Lamont, what's popping, dog? What's popping, dog? Hey, family, what's popping, daughter? What's popping? Alberta, what's popping? Let's get to it. So, you know, some days I need a break from this story, man, because it's almost been 2 months, dog, that we've been talking about this. And some days I need a break to collect all my thoughts. But today I said, since I already did a live, let's go live again, you know? Amelia, you the most dedicated. Hey, I really appreciate you. And you know that, you know? What's good, Rockstar? What's popping? Just like the Olive Bread said, work. Man, look. I was about to play that song. I got work to do. It's draining, bro. It really is, dog. But I feel like they want to fatigue us out of this story. And, you know, when it comes to me, nah. So we gotta break this down and see those boys, those white boys, they don't expect that family to keep doing what they doing, to keep showing up. See, they so used to black people in general, that's not white. They so used to people just letting stuff go, forgiving, turning the other cheek. They not used to a family. If you go do an interview on stage, guess what? We go do an interview. So they not used to that in Mississippi. They used to sweeping stuff under the rug. But this family not letting them. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating to them. They trying to move on, but every time they do an interview, Nolan Wells' parents do an interview. You see that? I love that shit, though. That's how it's supposed to be. But if this was anybody else, they would get arrested. So why hasn't none of these dudes gotten arrested yet, dog? Are you still pursuing photography? I am. Hold on, let me read out. That's not going to happen. A mental break is necessary to reset and jump back in. That's a fact. That's it. They want to shut up. That's a fact, man. They do, especially when they done found that girl. Exactly. I'm from there. They bank on our forgiveness, man. See, look. And that's what's not happening. They used to us forgiving them and turning the other cheek. So they don't know what to do right now. They running out of options, dog. And your boy, he already regretting doing these interviews because he losing views now. Officer Raccoon, he used to get 300K, 400K. Bruh, his views going down. These interviews supposed to hit 1 million. His interview, bro, people tired of him, dog. Even Caucasian people tired of him. So this really messed up his bag for real. All he had to do is mind his business. What's popping? I'm from Biloxi, Mississippi. They looking stupid on those. They looking stupid, bro. I told you. They running out of options, dog. They put a janky ass. If you watch my last video I made, they got a janky ass attorney up there trying to put fear into us. Bro, who that janky ass wannabe mob attorney? Who he think he's scaring, bro? He think he a mob boss? Bruh, ain't nobody scared of you, dog. I can hear them now, bruh. Okay, we're going to do this interview. Before you say anything, make sure you make eye contact. Oh, yeah, we going to scare him with this one. Bruh, y'all ain't scaring nobody. Bro, when I heard him talk, bro, I'm like, bro, these dudes, when they got a mobster, bro. We don't respect y'all. Y'all ratted on each other. All the Italians, you're ratted on each other. Everybody told on everybody. Y'all can't be trusted either. Y'all can't be trusted. The attorney a whole clown, bro. When I saw that shit, bro, I kind of got mad, man. I'm like, wait, do they really think we this dumb? I low key got mad, dog. He kept tipping that hat and control. I saw that. Somebody said he a sucker. He ain't even a sucker, bro. He a jive turkey, bro. He's a jive turkey. Dude said anybody say something about these guys, my guys. I'm like, nigga, what? He is a sucker. Hey, honey baby, I swear, I gotta use that again. I forgot people used to call people a sucker. I gotta start calling people suckers, bro. You a sucker. It was funny, but let's get right into it, man. First, I ain't gonna lie, I'm kind of tired of this dude right here, but he did make a great point, especially with this scar over his face, bro. Gotta cover that shit up, bro. That shit look bad, dog. I'm kind of getting tired of him for real. Like, I really am. But he did make a great point in one of his videos. I'm really getting tired of this dude too, though. At this point, my grandfather was from Jackson, but left back in the... Hold on. Oh, you can leave the comment. Damn, I was reading that. Shit. Okay. He called him fine young man. When an attorney talks like that, they doomed. Exactly. We're getting up to speed later. Being heard some insulting mess. This attorney state in Mississippi holding Nolan throat. That's a fact. So like I say, bro, I'm getting tired of this dude, but you know, every now and then he do come with something that makes sense. I ain't gonna cap. You know, but
Service Sam here with a Nolan Xavier Wells update. And something a lot of people are pointing out is Warren and how much his face has changed since just the first interview a few weeks ago to right now. And it begs the question, like, he looks like he has Ozempic face, in my opinion.
Now you good. Sam been standing up for blacks. Oh yeah. It's just like, damn. You know, like I say, every now and then he do come with some, you know, with some important information. And this is important information, dog. See, you can lie all you want. We know y'all had the cell phone. We know y'all deleted messages. But look, this don't lie. And like I say, we're going to get into this interview because they dropped this today. And that racist ass news outlet, WLOX, They trying to get views, you know. They racist as hell too. But we're gonna get into this interview that they did today, the parents did today. But I gotta break down what these dudes are doing. I'm tired of all of them, but hang in there because if Nolan child, exactly, that's a fact.
But is something eating away at him? Now, obviously, this has to be very stressful, all of a sudden becoming this unwanted celebrity. He talks about where he went into a restaurant and was threatened and whatnot, but this doesn't look like weight loss by a man who lost his best friend and he just hasn't slept or hasn't eaten and is just doing everything he can to figure out what happened to his friend. It looks like something is literally eating away at his soul. That's all I'm saying. It's just my opinion. What do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comments. Secret Service Sam out, Samson for president of the world. Secret Service Sam
I'm
here
gonna
with
say
the
the
Nolan
world.
Xavier Wells update. And something a lot of people are pointing out is Warren and how much his face has changed since just the first interview a few weeks ago.
And that's what happens when you lie. That's what happens when you lie. People are saying let them keep talking, they'll eventually drop the ball. Oh yeah, but what I like about Nolan's parents, they let them talk, but then they dropped their interview that they did today.
Bye,
You know?
guys. Class is in session.
Shut your ass up. So they not letting them rest. So imagine you telling a lie and then you think, okay, we done right? We done right? And then the next week, the person that you know, lying on or lying to, they come back and tell their story again. These boys are done. But what's going to happen is eventually they're going to crack. Eventually they're going to get tired of lying, dog. They're going to get tired of lying and they just going to let everything out. Watch. One of these days, it's going to be a video or an interview, and it's going to be one of those boys, and they just going to let everything out. That's it. But let's move on. Before we get into Nolan Wells' parents' interview, I wanted to look at this. I want to just go over this part right here.
Day by day and just try to get through every day, you know. Can you give me some examples of what has happened? Have you guys have had things happen online, threats online? Have you guys have any examples of people accosting you or anything like that?
Oh yeah, we've had countless death threats online. Been spotted. I'll let you elaborate more on that.
Yeah.
Now think about what he just said. He said we've have countless death threats online. Now what? You see how they love playing the victim, dog? That's how you know they're guilty. Where is the emotions? If Nolan was their brother, their friend, why nobody showing emotions? Why everybody arms crossed or their hands tied in tight together? Everybody arms crossed and their hands just like this. You know why? Because they trying to protect themselves. They don't want anybody to see that they lying. That's why everybody's so stiff. No emotions at all. None. No tears. Nothing. You feel me? The whole time they defending themselves. The whole time they being defensive. Come on. If your friend died and you are completely innocent, bro, you're going to be up there crying. You're going to be up there just like, damn, I miss my boy. Like, it's nothing. You know why? because they took his cell phone and they erased everything. No videos, no nothing, bruh. So that's why I'm so glad that Nolan Wells' parents not giving up. You know how parents, you know how back in the past, some parents, some white person do something to their kids, they forgive them, they don't fight no more. Oh, they did the S word to themselves. No. I love how Nolan Wells' parents is not letting this shit go. They not letting it go. And everybody want them to say that it was racist. I'm kind of glad they didn't say that. Like they playing dumb. Don't accuse nobody. They just want answers. That's it. And this is how you know they're covering something up. If Nolan just drowned, if that's it, where is the autopsy, dog? We going on 2 months. We going on 2 months and we have no autopsy. Come on, man.
I mean, people have obviously just pointed us out. I mean, as a group band, even on a one-on-one setting, I think it's really just like awkward because I don't want to talk about this, and I know my friends don't want to talk about this any more than we need to. You know, we're still mourning one of our best friends' death, and it's hard to speak about it when, you know, like sometimes we just need some alone time, or sometimes we just need to, you know, lay back and not be around all this. And I mean, I've been called out in public, and I haven't been in public that much. I know my friends have had encounters in public. The threats have been insane from.
So Ocean Springs, Mississippi is mostly Caucasian people. So you telling me your own people calling you out? You telling me your own people calling you out? Come on, bro. If you didn't lie, and look, I'm gonna tell y'all something, bro. I've been said it, but it took Dr. Umar to tell everybody. But that boat audio, it was all fake. The boat audio, it was all fake, man. That's why it took them 22 days to release the audio. It took them 22 days to release that audio because it's fake. They made it up. If the boat was sinking, all those people on that island would have helped them, and they didn't leave. Why would they leave at 4:30 on the 4th of July and you're in the middle of partying? You're not going to leave an island at 4:30 just to go to another body of water. But in this video that we're going to play next, not this shit. I hate these fake ass ads.
And right
In this interview, his mom is going to break it down. She's going to talk about the last day she saw her son and what she told him. But I want to talk about this right here.
You know, my stepmom, my dad, my mom, just everyone included, like even my brothers and my sisters, and it's just hard. I mean, it's unbelievable where like this has been taken to, where this is at.
When you say you've been caught out in public, can you give me an example of like, what do you mean? People are threatening you with weapons? People are, you know, not allowing you, deny you service? Because I heard that Traceman, he went to a corner store and they told him his money's not good there. They wouldn't even let him buy Gatorade.
Yeah.
Like, are you experiencing things like that or something totally different?
Right. I wouldn't say like that. I think I haven't been denied, you know, anything, but like Tracy, it's hard to hear from a good friend of mine that
They so dumb. They actually making it worse. They actually making it worse. The more they talk, the more people don't like them. It's best to just shut up. But when you're guilty, you gotta over-explain. When you guilty, look, if you want to know somebody lying to you, They always gonna over explain. And they gonna be sitting like this. Even the attorney, he guilty. He's so dumb. He don't even know about body language. Look how dumb he is. Arms crossed. Look, just dumb. Shit crazy.
He's getting denied a Gatorade and a Red Bull before work and having to, like, he calls me, he's like, dude, you won't believe what just happened. He got called out at Walmart. Someone called him out at Walmart and was like asking him all these questions and trying to press him about it. And it's crazy to me. Like, we live in a very tight-knit community, and for people to, push back and say these things when they know what Ocean Springs is like, it's really hard. And I mean, I haven't had many personal encounters, but I know being around the guys and stuff like that, they have. So
As an attorney that's representing these boys, I mean, what does that make you feel like? Do you feel like you got a good case here, or what's your perspective in that? Because people are online, and
What's pop?
obviously they know who you are. Obviously they know you represent Donald Trump in some pretty high-profile cases. And so now that you've joined, or at least now you work for the young men here, you hear them say things like they've been accosted, they've been, threatened online. Does that make your case a greater case, or how do you work within what's happening to these young men?
Well, unfortunately, I wish there was no case. I wish this hadn't happened. But unfortunately, because these things did happen, there is a case, and now there's multiple cases. And I'm going to tell you something. If you're out there and you lied about these guys, you lied about my guys, you lied about Tyler's guys here, if you lied about Morgan, if you lied about Jax, if you lied about Warren, we're going to get you. And you're going to be hauled into court. You're going to be held accountable.
Man, shut your goofy ass up. Shut your goofy ass up, Tony Montana wannabe. We gonna get you. Dude, who do you think you are, bro? Dude said we're gonna get you. Yeah, we're gonna get you. Nigga. What, you gonna get 5,000 people that's online telling the truth? What, you gonna prove they lying? How you gonna prove they lying, dog? Bro, when I saw this, I got mad, bro, because I feel he thinks we stupid. Oh, we supposed to be scared. Right, what evidence he got to prove that we lying? I told y'all, bruh, these racist people, they love to put fear into you, dog. That's how they operate. Okay, let's go work. We need you to be our lawyer. Come on stage and just tell them, if you keep talking about us, you're going to get in trouble. Man, shut up. Exactly. They trying to protect their name, man. They trying to protect their name, but they don't even know it, bro. Them boys are cooked, and they really cooked because they keep doing these interviews, bro. Why are y'all even showing your faces? Now they really got pictures of you. If you don't show your face, eventually people, they ain't gonna forget, but they won't talk about it every day. By y'all showing y'all faces, bro, you're making it bad for yourself. Exactly. And this jive turkey, all he want is views. So in a way, bro, hey, I'm gonna be for real. Officer Raccoon really doing a good job because he's really helping out the case. He really helping out the case, bro. It'd have been way better if they didn't talk. The more they talk. But that's the arrogance in Mississippi of these racist people. That's the arrogance they have, man. He really is helping, bro. Like, And look, I know what it is. Look, you gotta think about it, bro. Officer Raccoon was a failed police officer. He was what, an officer for about what 5, 6 years. So this is his comeback story. So this is to throw. He doing these interviews. Look, bro, this shit personal, man. He doing these interviews to throw it in, in his hometown face. That's what he doing, bro. These interviews is to show the people that fired him, look what I'm doing. I got the biggest case, the hottest case. That's what he doing, bro. He don't care about these kids. He's getting revenge on the people that laughed at him, that fired him. That's what he doing. That's it. It's all about revenge. He's doing these interviews and acting like a detective investigator because he's showing the people that fired him, look what he can do. You feel me? That's the reason why he's doing these interviews, man. He's trying to rub it in the face of his old coworkers, of his old boss who fired him, showing his family, look what I can do. Look, mama. Come on, bro. So when you see Officer Raccoon doing these interviews, he's only doing it so he can get revenge on people that laughed at him. He's only doing it so he can show his family, look, I probably didn't make it to the NFL, but look what I'm doing. I got the biggest case. I'm doing interviews. See, that's it. That's it. Come on. You gotta realize he only 39, bro. He's still young. So he doing all this to rub it in the face of the people who fired him. He a sellout for real. Dirty Laundry in the Country by Curtis Mayfield.
And it's going to be very painful. And what I would say to the people who have done that is, now's your chance. If you want to apologize and retract before you find yourself in court, you should probably do that now. Because if you don't do that, once you're in court, now you just can't leave.
Bro, who this dude think he is, bro? He think he Tony Montana? He think he's Scarface? That's what we're gonna call him. We're gonna call him wannabe Scarface, bro. He wanna be Scarface so bad, dog. If you don't apologize, nigga, shut up. Your body language, we don't take you serious, dog. Your arms crossed. You don't even believe in your own words, dog. Want to be Scarface? Bro, these people are crazy, son. Tatum doesn't have any credibility, not even from the guilty boys and before him. These boys are there to desperate attempts. That's a fact. Look how he ended up. It's funny because Officer Raccoon, he think he doing something. But the people still laughing at him. Shout out to Teddy Pendergrass. The whole town's laughing at you, silly fool. They laughing at him, bruh. But he want their respect. He want to rub it in their faces, but people really laughing at him because none of this stuff makes sense. You really helping out Nolan Wells' parents. Because he full of shit. He know. Been watching too much TV. Bruh, I'm going to be real. I bet that's not even his real accent, bro. He probably talking like that. That's probably not even his real accent. Did somebody tell him that we ain't scared of Italians, bro? Did somebody tell him that, bro? Ain't nobody scared of you want to be Scarface? I don't know how many movies you watched. The Casino, Godfather, bruh. This ain't that, dog. This ain't that.
You won't be able to get out of it. And we're not going to name names because there's some other folks who are doing that, and we want to be better than that. And I want to emphasize this, right? We're not here to guess. We're not here to speculate. We're only going to deal in facts, right? And here's the most important thing, right?
Iron Will, all of them look like they're in an interrogation room and the lawyer is a bozo. That's a fact. Appreciate that 10, dog. I'm gonna start using the words, bro. A sucker and a bozo. I'm gonna start using those words, bro.
We don't know how Nolan Wells died. No one here is saying we know. But what we do know is Morgan, Jax, and Warren had nothing whatsoever to do with Nolan Wells' death. And that's what's important. And
I don't know, wanna be Scarface. I don't know. Them boys look scared as hell. And not scared in a way of they innocent. This like some guilty scary. This like some guilty scary.
fortunately, because there are people
Larry Holmes was
who have to
popping.
fly to town and come in from the outside and tell people what to think and
Yep.
pit neighbor against neighbor, it compounds the tragedy. It magnifies the tragedy. And I just want to say the tragedy because my friends here, Morgan, Jax, and Warren, these guys are not just the finest that Ocean Springs has to offer, finest that Mississippi has to offer. These are the finest young men that America has to offer. You know, really great people.
The what? Your boy said the finest that America has to offer. What in the hell, bro? Oh my God, bro. See? I ain't gonna say no threats, but what old boy said, Charlie Murphy on Dave Chappelle? What the five fingers say to the face? That's all I'm gonna say, bro. We watching true actors without Hollywood budget. That's a fact, man. What did the five fingers say to the face? That's all, bruh. Some people just need to, damn,
Just met these young men more recently.
smack.
And are you confident that these young men had nothing to do with it? Or
Confidence not a strong enough word. In fact, beyond a reasonable doubt is not strong enough. There's a 0% chance that they did anything wrong.
Boy. Bro, I hope y'all screen recording all this stuff. Because when the truth get exposed, boy. Your boy says a 0% chance that they wasn't involved. But they took his cell phone and erased everything out of his phone. I don't know where he from, bro. I don't know where that dude from, but he want to be Scarface. I do know that.
So this is not 90%, not 99%. It's not 99.9999. The decimals, there's no anything.
Nigga, what?
It's 100%. 100.000, nothing. They did nothing wrong. And that's the problem for our opponents here, who have ruined their lives, dragged them through the mud, and attacked them.
Or what does that look like when you go out? People threaten you with weapons, or people trying to physically harm you, or people having to be restrained? What?
I'm gonna tell y'all the top three. That's in the top three. The first two that showed up was Warren did an interview, and the other dude, Tristan, him and Bart. All three of them. Warren and Tristan, whatever, they did the interviews first, so they guilty. They trying to clear their names first, but they the guilty ones. They the guilty ones. That's why they keep doing interviews to clear their name. Katie not guilty. That's why she ain't doing shit, because she already knows she not guilty. But these dudes, they guilty. If everybody's saying the same thing, bro, a lot of people not lying about this case. You got even Caucasian people that's saying they guilty. You've been the best covering the story, bro. Certified salute. Hey, appreciate you, Water Guy TV. Hey, y'all go subscribe to my boy, man. Water Guy TV, dog. That's my boy. He been working real hard the last 2-3 years, bro. Your boy been on it. Appreciate you, dog.
What kind of engagement is happening when you guys go out?
We went to a restaurant, a couple of buddies of mine, and when we were, I wouldn't say threatening with weapons or anything, but I felt, and I know my friends felt, threat for our lives. I mean, I don't think there was like a fear factor, but at the same time, like it's awkward in public. Like I said,
First, you felt in fear of your life, but you wasn't in fear. Like, what are you talking about, dude? So you telling me it's people in Ocean Springs that want to harm you? Ocean Springs is mostly Caucasian people, bro. So what are you talking about? Is it Caucasian people that's trying to harm you? Or are you lying? See, racist Caucasian people, they love to say black people are act like victims. No, bro. Don't nobody play the victim better than them. They are the true victims. Or they act like it. Imagine murdering somebody, or you know how they got murdered. But you play the victim. This whole interview was about them. Think about that. Your friend just got murdered, found dead. But you do an interview talking about you. But this what happens when you lie too much. When you keep lying, you got to keep lying. And it's draining. Look at them. They all look drained, bro. That's why they said the truth shall set you free. They look drained from lying. But all they got to do is tell the truth. All they got to do is tell the truth. But their racism, it won't let them, dog. That racism won't let them tell the truth. Wireless Sunday, hey, I appreciate you. Always supporting. I appreciate that. They trying to program the audience and create this narrative. They creating doubt using propaganda. Man, I'm telling you. They always do that though. But this the first time in a long time where they can't get away with it. They can't get the last word because every time they try to, Nolan's parents, they start talking. And I love that shit. I love it. I love it. They should never get comfortable. Never let them get comfortable. See, like I always say, Carmelo might be in the physical prison. But you know the worst thing, bro? It's worse to be in the mental prison. And you free. These boys in the mental prison and they free. Damn. And then they young, so you know everything on social media affects them. Everything, they on TikTok all day. And they see videos about themselves. Even their own people saying they guilty. Bruh, it's draining, dog. Mine will rot from the inside out. That's a fact. And that's what we seeing. That's what we seeing. So take notes. If something ever happens to your family due to Caucasian people, never let it go, bro. Never let it go. Because, like somebody said earlier, they expect you to forgive them. They expect you to turn the other cheek. They expect that. But they don't expect you to fight. They want you to forgive. They want us to get tired of talking about this. And they can just keep on doing it. Come on, bro.
like when we have to talk about these things, but we went to a restaurant and someone came up to me and was like, "Is this you?" And I was kind of like, shaken up about it. Well, at first she asked like my name and like all these questions, and I was like, okay, whatever. She's
Your boy in the middle, he going through it. Your boy in the middle, the second dude, he going through it, bruh. I love it, man. I love it. If I can't sleep, you can't sleep. If my family feel uncomfortable, hey, but they wasn't expecting this, bro. They wasn't.
I'm gonna have to talk. Well, then she came up to me again and showed me our first interview and was like, "Are you sure this isn't you?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, that's me, like obviously." And she kind of just, I looked at my buddy and I was like, "Yeah, we're leaving. Like close everything out. Like we're going." And I left, and there was an altercation after I left with some of my buddies that weren't involved in this at all. And they told my friends that they were gonna kill him and they wanted to fight and all this like crazy stuff. I mean, I wasn't there, but my friends told me this.
He never there. He never somewhere. Somebody always telling him something. That's what I noticed about Warren. He never somewhere, but somebody always telling him something. I wasn't there, but my buddies told, bruh, you never there, but you always talking. So if Ocean Springs is mostly Caucasian people, so you telling me Caucasian people are attacking y'all? That's when you know you're guilty. When it's white on white violence, that's when you know you guilty. Damn.
That what the people were saying to them was like totally were just crazy. Like, I mean, there was people like that were outside of this telling us like, hey, you need to leave before something happens because
Appreciate you.
could go down right now. And like I know that these people are crazy. So I mean, we all felt we were kind of shaken up about that. It was weird because it was our first encounter as a group, and I think it's also like just crazy that people will like look at you in the eye and tell you they'll kill you because they believe you killed your best friend. You have nothing to do with it.
And Morgan and Jackson, were you guys there?
Yes, we were there. I didn't hear the part where they said they were going to kill him and stuff, but I did hear whenever she came up to him originally.
You see? This is their whole plan to play victim, man. That's what they do. That's what all Caucasian people do. They play the victim. Like in the Carmelo Anthony situation, his brother, Hunter Metcalf, he played the victim. But the truth is, Hunter is the one who started everything. That's why if you go back and watch the videos of Hunter after the trial and stuff like that, he looks mad. You know why? Because he started everything. And he said it. He said, my brother always coming and save me if I'm wrong or if I'm right. So they love to play the victim, dog. That's what they do. But they'll project on black people and say, oh, y'all victims. No, y'all love playing the victim. Whether it's going to war to make the people believe, oh, these people are evil. Come on, man. But it's really, they want to steal some shit. What your boy Dave Chappelle said, they want their all. They want their all. Come on, bro.
She was like, "Hey, you have like TikTok or anything like that? Your face looks really familiar." And he was like, "No, I don't have TikTok or anything like that." And she was like, "Oh, okay," and then walked off, and then came back with, like you said, the first interview, on her phone, and showing him. And she's like, "So this isn't you. Either you have a doppelganger, or this is you." And he was like, "Well, yeah, that's me." And then we got the check, and we bounced, and we were waiting outside for everybody else to get out of there. And while we're waiting outside is whenever some of our other buddies that aren't even on social media that we were just there with was getting told that other people were going to kill them and all kind of stuff.
in front of you, in front of others? Like, what was your take on that, Morgan?
It was just like I was in the general area of where one of our buddies was, where this altercation happened.
What?
And I actually got into a conversation with a fellow next to me that wasn't even involved, and he told me straight up. He was like, "If I was y'all right now, I would leave before y'all get hurt."
Now, mind you, they saying all this happened. Where is the videos, bro? Because I don't take the words of Caucasian people, bro. I don't believe it. Where is the video? Nobody recorded the altercations? Not one person? No videos, nothing? It's all made up, bro. It's all made up. Shit crazy.
I need to leave right now. I'm just watching out for y'all and making sure y'all are safe. And I mean, I wouldn't say that those people would have physically done something in that moment, but I think they were playing like almost like a mental game, like just to get into your head and just almost like make yourself like just think these things that obviously are not true.
If you could go back to the very beginning of this, how do you think this should have played out? Because I always question in my mind that when I go back, I look at what happened, I look at the initial stories with Nolan, and you guys knew him, right? I didn't know him. I know none of you guys.
That's a fact.
I just had a chance to meet you guys more recently. But how do you think this should have gone? If you could control the environment, Nolan is found deceased. How do you guys think that this should have been put out to the world?
So first off, I wish that none of this would ever happen. I wish Nolan could still be here with us today, and I wish that, like I said, none of this would ever happen. I wish that all this could be erased and Nolan could be here tomorrow. I mean, that's more than anything.
That's called regret. That's called regret. That's the only time somebody told the truth. What he just said was the truth. Look, he the only one who just showed emotions. Look,
I just had a chance to meet you guys more recently.
look.
But how do you think this should have gone? If you could control the environment, Nolan is found deceased. How do you guys think that this should have been put out to the world?
So first off, I wish that none of this would ever happen. I wish Nolan could still be here with us today, and I wish that, like I said, none of this would ever happen. I wish that all this could be erased and Nolan could be here tomorrow. I mean, that's more than anything.
That's the first time somebody told the truth. That's the first time somebody in this interview and other video told the truth. But you know what? That's regret. Whatever they did to Nolan, whatever happened, they regret it. Only because they got caught. That's it, bro. That's the only emotion we seen in all these interviews. No tears, no nothing.
But other than that, I feel like his mom blasting us on social media from the get-go, saying that he was out there with Warren and another guy.
How you mad at his mom for saying who the last people he was with? You know what? We done with these dudes, bro. Let's go to his mother. This interview is from today. I think today. 2 hours ago.
Happened to Nolan Wells.
Well, by Monday, July 6th, the news that Nolan's family feared the most. The remains of Nolan Wells had been recovered on the shore of Horn Island. What happened to this boy? And ABJ, I want to bring to the stage two people. We are connecting with you under these circumstances. You know, I want to tell you, Christine, I'm going to start with you. On Friday, July 3rd, Nolan made you dinner. And so as you're telling us about the last time you saw your baby boy, I want you to talk to us about who Nolan was and tell us about that day. So Nolan is
What's down, brother?
was an incredible, just incredible soul. He was the person who, no matter where you were in life, what was going on, he was going to be your biggest cheerleader. And I can attest to that because after COVID, my sister was like, oh, you should do social media. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to do social media. I like to just watch others. And then Nolan was like, no, Mom, you should do it. I'll help you with the videos. I got you. And no, beyond measure. He was just a bright light. And he was our bright light. As far as that day goes, I went to work, and he was making salmon, so he was FaceTiming me as I'm trying to see patients kind of in between, of course not answering the phone in the room. And he's like, hey, Mama, how's this look? Is this enough season? Like, what am I supposed to do with this? And I was like, okay. I was like, you don't have to do that. And he's like, no, I'm going to take care of it. I was like, okay, sure. And so he finishes cooking, get home. He's like, yeah, what you know about this? And he was, guys, when I tell you that he loved to joke, like he was just one of those people. He wanted everyone around him to smile, be happy, feel comfortable and accepted. And that is the kind of person God made him. Us as parents, we definitely had that influence, but Nolan was just naturally a peacemaker. Yeah. And so after that, it was, 8, and then he got ready to go. He did his normal, hugged us up, I love you, Mom. I was like, be safe, knowing this was going to be his last weekend before going back to school, because football was starting, the summer training was starting. And this was his second year at Southwest, and so we knew this was going to be a big year for him. Dad and him had been training and doing all these things and really just kind of sitting with him and letting him know, like, hey, we're going to the next stage in your life as well as, your football career. So the focus was there, and he was ready. So he leaves that day. He leaves that day with, he drives his car. And he told us kind of a general, like, hey, we're going to go to the island. Like, we knew that, staying at Jack's house. And Jack's was a friend I think we've met in passing before. And that's the thing, I always say there's a difference in meeting someone, knowing of someone, and then knowing someone. Knowing implies that we've sat down, we've had discussions about.
See, look, what those boys don't like, and their parents, they don't like that they are still talking, bruh. They want you, when racist people do things to you, they want you to take it and shut up. When you find your son or your daughter dead around them, they don't want you to ask any questions. They want you to take it and shut up, bruh. So the more interviews she do, it makes those boys uncomfortable. So eventually, bro, if we get the truth or not, eventually those boys, those white boys, they go crack, bro. Because if they don't get arrested, man, she ain't gonna stop. Nolan's parents not gonna stop. And by those boys being so dumb to do an interview with Officer Raccoon, now everybody knows who they really are. They actually made it worse. So no matter where they go, people gonna look at them sideways. And that's probably worse, bro. That's probably one of the worst things. That's like the Black Mirror episode when people block you in real life forever. Damn. So this is why I love what Nolan Wells' parents are doing, dog. They not being quiet. These people want you to forgive all. What would Jesus do? They want you to forgive. They want you to turn the other cheek. Forgive like Jesus. Nope. I ain't Jesus. Nope. Nope. You do an interview, guess what? We go tell a real story. Come on, bro. Them days over. That's a fact, bro. Them days is over.
Your hopes, your dreams, knowing you, okay, hey, he stayed the night at my house, which Wyatt, one of his friends, he had stayed at our house a couple of times. And then Jax, again, that was one I just maybe saw in passing a few times. There was only a handful of young men that we actually knew, like he grew up with. And when I say grew up, I'm saying from like first grade, they've known each other all through high school now that they're graduated. And that would be like Jalen and Javon, LeBaron. Those are kids that we knew. So it's been hard seeing all this kind of play out.
Yeah.
And these are people that he considered friends.
Yes. Dad, I want to ask you, because it was Warren Hudson, one of the people that he traveled with, who called to alert you all that Nolan was missing.
Yes.
So we know at 5:44, the boat returns, Nolan is not there. At 11 p.m., he calls to say Nolan
What's
is
poppin'?
missing. I wonder if either of you, whoever wants to answer, what happened in those few hours that prompted Warren to be concerned?
I'm not quite sure what would prompt him to be concerned, but all I can say is what I did that day. So, me and my sister, we made an order of pancit, which is a Filipino noodle dish for one of our friends. They were having a big family get-together, and we really didn't have anything planned for the 4th. So me and my sister are, cleaning up, and this is about 8. And she's like, hey, no one hasn't texted us. And that was the thing, no one was really big with communication with us, right? And so I call him, doesn't answer, I end the call. Call back, and this is probably, I think, maybe around 8. Don't quote me on the times, guys. So then I call again later at around 8, still no answer. And then I want to say I called one more time, and I think that was at like 10:48. So I'm in the kitchen, my phone rings. Now this is probably like early 11 o'clock, somewhere around there. Phone rings when I make it back to the phone, and I'm like, whose number is this? Because, we get weird phone calls sometimes. They didn't leave a message. Number pops back up. I pick up the phone because it says maybe Warren. And I'm like, Warren? So this is 11:07. That's per my cell phone records. So I answer the phone. He's like, hey, Miss Christine, have you seen or talked to Nolan? I said, no. Why? He should be with you guys. And he said, oh, no, well, when we went to the island, there was a girl named Katie that he met, and he had decided.
Bam. So it all makes sense, bro. Whatever happened to Nolan happened to him when they was leaving that island. And they had, in my opinion, they had his body the whole day trying to see where they was going to dump his body at. Then they came up with a story, and then they called his mother around 11 something. So from 3 o'clock to 11 something, bro, these dudes had his phone. Then they called his mom. Everything was meant to be an alibi. That phone call, that Ceto company, they in on it too. They all in on it. That's why the captain said, let me hang up and call his grandpa right back. I just got a phone with his grandpa. They all in on it, bruh. That's why it took 22 days to give us that boat audio. They gave us a GPS to a boat we never seen. It was multiple boats that went to the island. It was like 3 boats, 20 to 30 people. They was in a group. And they gave us a GPS to a boat we never seen. Think about that, dog. They all in on it, bruh. They all in on it. And they called the mother. The grandpa probably coached them. The judge probably coached them on what to tell the mother when they called. But she was so dumb to call the mother from his phone. Stupid. As soon as he called, he was coming up with a story, an alibi. Listen, watch. That's how you know he lying.
So then I call again
Facts.
later around 8, still no answer. And then I want to say I called one more time, and I think that was at like 10:48. So I'm in the kitchen, my phone rings. Now this is probably like early 11 o'clock, somewhere around there. Phone rings when I make it back to the phone, and I'm like, whose number is this?
Facts.
Because, you know, we get weird phone calls sometimes. They didn't leave a message. Number pops back up. I pick up the phone because it says maybe Warren. And I'm like, Warren? So this is 11:07. That's per my cell phone records. So I answered the phone. And he's like, hey, Miss Christine, have you seen or talked to Nolan? I said, no. Why? He should be with you guys. And he said, oh, no, well, you know, when we went to the island, there was a girl named Katie that he met, and he had decided to stay behind. I said, what? Because we know our child. And Nolan isn't one to be like, oh, well, I'm just going to throw caution to the wind, and I'm going to stay here with this girl that I just met. So I'm on the phone with him. Now I'm in a panic. I'm running into my room. Elmore was in bed watching a different movie, and I'm like frantic. He's like, what's going on? I'm like, Nolan's missing. I'm trying to pull up the GPS as I'm talking to him. And at some point, he tells me that, I was like, well, you know, his phone says GPS Live 360, not Snapchat.
Right.
Live 360 says that he's on land. And he was like, well, no, I mean, you know, well, we have his phone. And I'm like, wait, what? And I'm like, okay. Because at that point, you're telling me, this is coming from Warren, don't worry about it. We're going to find him. It's going to be okay. Don't tell me not to worry. This is my child, my flesh and blood that I brought into this world. And you're telling me not to worry. Absolutely not. So then it was after the phone call ended, of course, asking him for information. What was he wearing? He was like, last seen, Northwest tip, black shorts, sunglasses. That's important. So I end up calling DMR, spoke with the DMR. She took all the...
For our audience, DMR.
So DMR is because he...
What's poppin', Kay?
went missing on the island. They are basically the marine people, right? They're the ones who's going to launch the boats to go into the water and all that. But before getting off the phone with Warren, he was like, hey, I know some people at Coast Guard. I said, okay. He's like, I'm going to call Coast Guard, you call DMR. Get on the phone with DMR.
Think about this, bro. If the roles were reversed, why do black people, why do it take so much if the roles were reversed, if Nolan was a white boy and this happened with a bunch of black kids, you know, bruh, somebody would have been arrested. But with these white boys, they get to do interview after interview after interview. This shit crazy. It's crazy. It's like it's like they taking forever to get an autopsy. Like, come on, bruh. It's about to be 2 months. What you think they doing with their autopsy, dog? This is what racist Caucasian people do. Anytime they take forever on something, they lying. They lying. The Mississippi way, facts. No way, why the hell would you think of calling Coast Guard when you left your friend with a girl? Who the hell? Come on. Did she just say Warren knows? Hold on. Someone at the Coast Guard, didn't they turn down the Coast Guard on it? They did. A long time ago, 2 days tops. It's who they know. It's a code down there. That's a fact. That's a fact. Who said that? Angel. Recently, a reporter asked Nolan's father about one of the friends saying Nolan was like a brother to me. A day before his body was found, his father answered in a diplomatic way. But wow, they are playing in our faces. Come on, man.
Give the young lady the information. And she tells me, hey, I got this. Let me call you back. Because she was like, I'm not sure if this is going to be in our jurisdiction.
Thank you.
Essentially. So then she calls back and she tells me, okay, yeah, we spoke with Coast Guard. And I'm like, okay, but they're like, this isn't our jurisdiction. You have to contact the city of Ocean Springs. I said, okay, hang up the phone, call in Ocean Springs Police Department. They say, hey, you have to physically come down and give a report. I said, okay, so on our way, because we don't live that far from the police station, on our way there, I was like, well, let me stop by the hospital, because there's a hospital that's maybe 5 minutes up the road from our house. Stop by there. I'm like, hey, have you guys seen this kid? Has he been brought in? The lady's like, no, ma'am, we hadn't. I said, okay, thank you. Run out. We go to the police department. Get to the police station. And the officer basically says, again, this is out of our jurisdiction. And at that point, I'm like, my God, who am I supposed to talk to?
You see? But they want to tell you that Ben Crump and Al Sharpton are dividing Mississippi. Bruh, if this was a white Caucasian girl or a male who was on Biloxi Beach with black kids, you think they'll be talking about, oh, this is out my jurisdiction? Hell no. Hell no. They break all them codes when it's their people. But when it's not their people, they go run you around. Come on, bruh. That's cold-blooded, man. That's cold-blooded, but it's Mississippi, bruh. That's what they known for. But see, they didn't think that it would get this big. They didn't think that it would get this big, bruh. They didn't think that. They didn't think Tyler Perry, Kaepernick, T.O., Al Sharpton, Ben Crump, the whole world. They didn't know, bruh. They thought this was another cover-up. Okay, we can say whatever to these people. Nobody's gonna care. Ain't nobody letting this shit go, bruh. Hey, shout out to the Nolan Wells parents, dog. I love it, bruh. I love it. This how you handle these people. Don't let them get comfortable. Don't let them get comfortable.
It's supposed to help me with this. So then he said it's going to be, you would have to call DMR. So we've already called DMR. DMR said it's not in their jurisdiction. So we end up, I think at some point I had called Jackson County Sheriff's Office. Yeah. So she calls back and she's like, hey, are you there? I said, yes, we're here. But he's telling us the same thing you guys told us, which is no, we can't take it. She gets on the phone with the police officer. Now this is Jackson County Sheriff's Department speaking with the Ocean Springs Police Department. Ocean Springs Police Department is saying, this is why we can't.
And you got people saying, why the husband so quiet? Bruh, men don't talk. If something happened to our kids, you got a stepkid that you saw grow up, it still affects you. But men don't do no talking, bruh. We all about action. And in every video, you can see Nolan Wells' dad. He really want to crash out. He really want to crash out. So that's why men don't talk when stuff like this go down, bruh. Because, bruh, when this shit happen, a man don't want to talk. He really want to hurt somebody. For real, for real. For real, for real. But a woman, she go express herself, especially if it's her child, bruh. What are you talking about? Come on. A man ain't go talk. He wanna, put that work in. But a mother, you ain't about to stop her. I don't care if she a shy mother, a quiet mother. If you do something to her child, that's like, come on, bro. What you think she gonna do? She gonna turn up. You feel me? Until she get answers.
Can't take this information. She says, okay. He gives me the phone back, and she's like, okay, I'm just gonna take it. I'm just gonna take the information. And that was,
See?
we met an officer. It was after midnight.
Come
Yeah,
on.
somewhere after midnight. Met him in the McDonald's parking lot. Gave him the information. He was just like, okay, thanks. That I was like, like, where is the urgency? And so, as far as we know, there were no boats on the water that night. We actually, his high school football coach, Coach Bramlett, texted Elmore that morning. He said, hey man, I got a boat. Because again, we don't have boats. Let me make that very clear. We do not have a boat. We're not boating people. We don't do water like that, okay? So Coach Bramlett's like, hey, I got a boat. So we was like, great, let's go. We're on the water. We go out there. We walk the island. Cell phone works perfectly fine. I actually had almost an entire conversation with my grandmother, who was in a panic, as we're walking this island looking for anything.
I just want to pause there. The cell phone worked fine. Because in the reporting, there's been so much reporting that there's poor cell phone reception. And this is some of the disputes that we have about that night. Dad, feel free to jump in here because they're saying he met this young lady, Katie, and that he stayed back. According to the reporting, Katie is saying no. He said he was going to go with his friend. According to the reporting, the friend said, no, he left us his phone because there was no reception. Dad, have you found...
And that's the key right there. They had his phone, bro. If you leaving your friend on the island, what you gonna tell him? Hey, bro, here's your cell phone just in case you gotta call somebody. By them taking his phone, bro, that says everything. By them lying and saying he was with Katie, and Katie said no, he left. That tells everything, bro. That's why they sitting in these interviews looking like this. Look, that's why. They guilty. Look at the attorney. Janky ass dude. Just janky, bro.
Any consistencies? Have you spoken directly with any of his friends?
Well, the first inconsistency was you called me and tell me my son stayed on the island to talk to a girl. My son will never do that. That's not in his character. I didn't raise none of my kids to do that. The second thing is he said he doesn't have his phone. He doesn't leave his phone. I would wake up sometimes in the morning and Nolan would have his phone here right in my face. And I'm waking up cussing the fussing like, boy, you don't get the camera on my face. And he just laughing and giggling and stuff like that. So, to me, there's two lies he told me as a father. Like I said, we went on the island. And actually, a classmate of mine called me that morning as we were going out to the island with Nolan's coach. He's like 40 miles away. He calls me, hey man, I got the boat. Me and my boys, we're gonna go out there and help you look. I didn't call him, he called me.
Now, mind you, y'all, see, you gotta think when we watching this. They just posted this 2 hours ago. Now those boys, they thinking they doing something by doing an interview with Officer Raccoon. When they see this shit, they heart drop again. Because now they see how real it is and they just want to live a normal life. But those days are over. Until the truth comes out. These parents not stopping, bro. The people on the internet not stopping, dog. These dudes really ruined their life by lying. They really ruined their life. And they thought they can just get away with it. The governor, he thought he can put fear in people. The commissioner of public safety, he thought. The judge, she thought. The medical examiner, the DA, the attorney general, they all thought they could make a statement and shut us up. That's the arrogance of the racism in Mississippi, bro. They've been getting away with so many murders, murdering our people, the KKK, that they so arrogant. But this time, it didn't work. It didn't work. So when I watch this, I put myself in their shoes, bro. They heart drop. And this is WLOX. This the same news media that dropped the boat audio. So this is in Mississippi. So everybody that knows them gonna see this. You gotta love it, bro. You gotta love it. Ain't no forgiving. I'm not Jesus. We ain't forgiving nobody. We need answers. Ain't no turn the other cheek. We need answers, and I love that shit. This how you handle racist Caucasian people. Don't let them get comfortable. Because they live by their name, bro, especially in the South. Who your people is? What Warren last name is? I forgot his last name. But you get what I'm saying. Let's say his last name Burton or something. The Burtons, oh, okay, that's your people? Didn't your people murder that colored boy? That's how they talk in the South, bro. Their name is everything. Black people, your name is everything. So when this type of stuff is tied to your name, bruh, they looking at them boys crazy. And I love that shit. Facts. Oh, yeah, she said that. She said that. Miss Christine and her husbands, they thanked us, bro, for making this content. You see? But let other people tell it. Let raccoons and racist people tell it. Oh, we causing a divide. No. She thanked content creators for speaking up for Nolan, bro. Because she know if it wasn't for the content creators, bro, they would have been let this stuff go. It's really because the content creators kept talking and she didn't give up. Her and her husband, they didn't give up. And that's how you handle racist Caucasian people. Don't let them get comfortable. Don't forgive them, bro. I forgive you when you go to prison. That's when I forgive you. Do not let them get comfortable, dog. Hey, absolutely facts. Nothing but the facts. The divide was sheriff saying no foul. Come on, man. Come on.
And we're gonna start on this end. I said, well, we're probably gonna start on the other end. So me, my wife, Coach Bramlett, and a high school classmate of mine were the only ones. We were the first ones out there living. Like I said, we docked the boat, got out the boat, walked on the island. She had a whole conversation with her grandmother on the island. Got back on the boat, went back around the island. I guess that would be the north side, facing the Gulf of Mexico. I get another phone call. So my phone worked fine. So this whole thing about not having phone service, I don't know. I don't know if it's the cap.
Y'all, the game's so cold, they all in on it. The Cajun Navy people, they all in on it. This what happened, in my opinion. When they went there the first day, like he talking about, they went there on a boat and they didn't see his body the first day. You know why? Because the Navy dudes, the Cajun Navy dudes, they was talking to Jax Warren. They was telling them, don't bring the body right now. Bring it after they leave. That's why when they came back, the body was there, face down, in perfect position. You know why? Because they was all communicating with each other. That's why the Cajun Navy dude never sent pictures to Nolan's parents. Because they was all communicating with each other, bruh. That's why. They all knew. Come on, man. It's Mississippi, bruh. Racist Caucasian people, they gonna always stick together. Especially down there. They don't give a damn because they that cocky. They wasn't expecting it to turn out like this, dog. Yep, that part, yeah. They all knew Nolan was dead. That's why the grandpa already talked to him. That's why the captain called and said, well, let me call the kid and calm him down. Let me calm him down. We already gonna handle this. Come on, man.
Area wet, but I was work fine. I think that was around maybe 8 o'clock.
Yeah, because we finished up
What was
around.
it, Jackson County or the
Yeah, Jackson County
fire
Sheriff.
showed up?
Yeah.
A couple of boats, they finally showed up. By that time, I was like, he's not out here. I was more focused that he was at someone's house.
That was the.
So, that's where my hopes and feelings were. So,
Mhm.
yeah. The county stayed out there. My friend, he stayed out there because he called. He's like, well, we're going to stay out here a little bit longer. I said, okay, I appreciate it. So we leave. Then I would say maybe a couple hours later, my friend calls me back and he said, well, we're going to give it a go. But he said, look, I can gas the boat back up. And if you want to go back out there, we can go back out there. I said, I don't want to go back out to the island. I have a feeling that he's not there. And I don't want to go back to the island.
You see? Let me tell y'all something. Black people in Mississippi, bro, they have a connection. They have that connection where they can feel things. Even his mother, they have connection where they can feel stuff. You heard what that father said. He said he got a feeling he's not on that island. And he was right. He was right. He was right. They took Nolan's body to Fort Bayou and they put him in another boat over those few hours, over a day, however long. I think it was like just 24 hours. And then they brought him back to that island, bruh, and laid him face down. You telling me, think about this, y'all. On that island, it's rangers 24/7 watching that island. You telling me nobody saw anything? Think about that. That's why I'm telling y'all, they all in on it. This is Mississippi, bro. They all know what happened. That's why the Cajun Navy dude did not send the pictures. He said, I made a mistake and caught the body in the picture, but I didn't want to send it to the mother because I didn't believe she should see her son. Like, dude, nobody cares what you believe. Send the picture, dummy. But they all in on it. That's why I told y'all from the jump. That's why the story don't make sense. That's why they body language don't make sense. You feel me?
So he said, he offered, said, well, if you do, we can go right now. He said, don't worry about it. I appreciate you coming out there. He said, at that time, that helicopters were out there, more Coast Guard, more people out there. So we go back,
Come on.
get back on there.
It is.
As far as the keys, what was it, that night? Or was it?
That was that night.
That was the
It
night
like
to call. Okay, let me back
early.
up. As far as getting the car back, after we gave our report to Jackson County, the sheriff department that night, we were trying to figure out who to give the report to. We had a friend in the family that located his phone. We wasn't there to get the phone, but apparently there was some kind of friction to getting his phone.
Yeah.
We don't
And
know
it
what
was
the friction
so
was.
the phone and the key were at the same location, which was Jack's house. Okay. And again, all of these kids share their locations on Snapchat. And so she was like, hey, I can go pick his phone up, not thinking that his car is there, you know. Which she stopped everything she was doing. Her and the boys, they went out. We were all out searching for him that night. And yeah, like Elmore was saying, there was an issue, some type of friction. The cops ended up coming and they left. And so then kind of the same thing when we came to pick up the key, Elmore went up there asking for the key, didn't know where the key was, and all of a sudden we know where the key is.
But see, and this is another thing that bothered me too. When we got to the house, it was some of his other friends
Thank you.
were there, and they were, beating on the door like, what Nolan there, what Nolan there, beating on the door trying to get in the house. So I walk up to the door and I'm calming them down. Because for one, okay, you're loud. Two, you're in these people's house. So if we take these people's house, this could be a whole nother issue. I don't want y'all bothering. And three, I need you guys to calm down. And I need them to kind of trust me as being an adult so I can get something out of them. So I get them out the house. And then Jax finally comes down the stairs, I guess in the room. Hair all messed up like he just woke up, whatever. I said, look, I'm Nolan's father. The car's outside. I need to get his car and all his personal effects that may be left over. And he goes, oh man, Nolan was like my brother. I said, well, Nolan was like my brother. I said, well, if Nolan was like your brother, would you please go and get everything of his so I can get his car, I can go home. So he walks off. 2 or 3 minutes later, he come back. I don't see the keys. Okay. So I leave out the house, go back outside, stand by the car. During that time, one of the guys that was in the house, one of the other friends, he was on the phone with a girl who was apparently there with them earlier that day. And she was telling him that his keys was on top of the Xbox in his room. So he goes back up to the door by himself. And we're still out by the car. And lo and behold, here comes the keys. So now to me, you knocked me 3 times. I don't believe nothing.
You see how they telling the story? Like, they not stuttering. They not stumbling on words. They just telling the story so smoothly. And if you go back and watch, they did an interview with Good Morning America. They saying the same exact thing they said before. They not stumbling on words or nothing, bro. This is the truth. Come on. I unsubscribed from Don Lemon. I felt he is being a vulture. Oh yeah, he been a vulture. I'm telling you, bro. Go back and watch Don Lemon's old stuff on CNN. He talks shit about black people, bro. That's all he did. That's all he did. He did whatever Massa told him to do. He loved Massa, bro. He's just mad now because CNN fired him. He talked about black people sagging their pants, and I'm like, bro, you wore a suit every day, and you did whatever Master told you to do, and they still fired you. They still fired you. Come on.
That you tell me on out.
And this is Jax.
This is Jax.
And eventually,
There you go.
Yeah, eventually get
but there was friction getting the keys.
So from when you tell
There
me
you
my
go.
son's on left still in the island with a girl. 2, he have his phone.
Before we go on, I'm gonna tell y'all, bro. Nancy Grace, she can't be trusted. Don, he can't be trusted. Both of them, they can't be trusted, bro. All he doing is making money from our people's pain. That's it. He don't give a damn, bro. This dude is the biggest grifter. Like, at first, he was fighting for immigrants? Busting into churches for immigrants? But if you go back and watch his content on CNN, bro, the dude, he do whatever works for him, he do it. He don't care about what goes on in the black community, bro. He don't. He don't. Nancy Grace, she doing the same thing. She's just acting, bro. That's all Hollywood. It's all Hollywood. Go watch my second to last video. It's all Hollywood. She don't care either. She's just trying to rack in them views. That's it, bro. People don't really be caring, dog. They don't, man. They not passionate about this shit. They just want to make money off of black people's pain. That's it. Come on, somebody said Don Lemon got a white husband. See, I never even knew that, bro. I never even knew that. But it makes sense. It makes sense. That's why for 17 years, he was doing whatever Master was telling him on CNN, bro. Whatever master told him to do, he did it until they fired him. And now he want to act like he all blackety black. Nah, we ain't going for that, bro. I know you from Louisiana. That's what's up. But we ain't going for that. We see right through you, bruh. You ain't trying to solve nothing. You trying to get clout. That's it. You ain't trying to solve nothing. You really making it worse because every day you wake up, he on live with somebody irrelevant. This is a friend of the family. Who said that, bruh? Oh, this man gave Nolan Wells his first haircut. Who said that, bruh? You see how easy it is, bro, for them to lie to you? He brought a dude up there and said, this is a friend of the family. Nolan Wells' family never confirmed that. Think about this stuff, bruh. This is what he learned from CNN, how to manipulate the viewers. They can say anything and people don't be thinking for themselves. They gonna believe it. How we know he a friend of the family? He a friend of the family, but he got on there and said, oh, Mississippi not racist. You got black and whites marrying each other. It's not racist. Bro, what the hell does black and white people marrying each other have to do with racism? Systematic racism, dummy. It's just stupid. They don't even know how to lie correctly. So I'm glad our people not taking him serious for real no more, bro, because they don't want to solve anything, man. They want views. They want clout. That's it. Dying as a plant. That's it. I'm starting to wonder if Nolan was their first victim. Come on. He indirectly admitted that he could not believe how many views he was getting. Exactly. That's why he doing it. That's why Nancy Grace keep bringing up irrelevant people. Oh, this is a scientist. Boy, I'm about to call her B words just now. I ain't gonna lie. Nancy Grace acting, bro. I bet if you jump at her, she would get scared. But she can act tough on a camera. Bombshell evidence. Bitch, shut up. Shut up. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. Hollywood ass. Bombshell tonight. Bitch, shut up. Yeah, it's fake, bro. Go back and watch her videos, bro. Bombshell. And then, see, they so Hollywood. They know how to get people. They bring the cameras in to show their eyes. They bring the cameras in to act like she got emotions. It's all fake, dog. It's all fake. Bombshell tonight, bitch. Shut up.
And 3, you don't give me the keys to X. I don't know any father who will believe. Just if one of my friends did that, I'm gonna be cordial with you, but I'm gonna watch it. And I just.
Ben, I want to ask you because I'm hearing these two parents who essentially had to become search and rescue or law enforcement, looking for their own child with such a lack of urgency on behalf of law enforcement. Obviously, we're talking to black journalists. We can't ignore the ugly racial history of Mississippi. I looked into the demographics of the Jackson County Sheriff's Department. It's quite asymmetrical, but also just the general attitude and the lack of value when it comes to black life. Does this sound like a normal process for when an 18-year-old goes missing to you? What holes have you seen in your looking into this case?
Tiffany, that was the question that Christine and Elmore had when they first called us. They wanted the truth of what happened to their 18-year-old son, Nolan Wells. And they had concerns whether they were going to get a fair and impartial investigation. And from that day to this one, it has been the same objective, to have truth, transparency, and find out what happened to Nolan. They said we want a thorough investigation because when they found Nolan, they expressed to me that the sheriff had already said no foul play. And they was like, no, my son, he knows how to swim. Our son is a college athlete. Our son is in great shape. We don't believe that he just drowned and nobody knows nothing. Nobody saw nothing. I mean, there are about 300, 400 people on the island. And so that's what they were saying. We want to know what happened. We want truth. We want transparency. We don't want his death to be swept under the rug.
Well, just so to make sure the audience and the people watching at home know, so they did declare very quickly, as you're noting, that he drowned when his body was recovered on July 6th. Mom and Dad and you all know that he is a student athlete, able to swim. On July 4th on Horn Island.
Y'all heard that, right? When they first declared he was dead, they said it was no foul play. This is what they do, man. Before they do any investigation, they're gonna always say, when it comes to a black person, oh, no foul play. But I told y'all, they didn't expect it to get this big. Now they can't get away with it. And I love that shit. Let's go.
And it was very crowded. Certainly the suggestion if someone would have seen a child in distress. There is going to be the convening of a grand jury. Now, the DA of this area, Angel Myers McElrath, is a very out loud, proud Republican. If there is a U.S. attorney appointed to this case, it will likely be a Trump appointee. I'm just curious, Ben, from you and Rev, I think we have to be very candid here. What concerns do you have about the racial animus that we are seeing so much of play in this case?
Well,
You or Rev, whoever.
all I'll say, and then defer to Rev, you want to believe that this is a child, that everybody's going to do their level best to find out what happened so these broken-hearted parents will know what happened to their child. In time, we've seen Christine and the family be attacked just for asking questions. What happened to my child? Trying to say, no, we want to question this part of the investigation, that part of the investigation, because day one you said no foul play, but tell me now, what are you doing to be able to get us to the truth? And that is, it causes them sleepless nights. We talk at night. And so, trust but verify. We are trying to cooperate with everything we can do to say, hey, we want to help, but we want you to give them a thorough investigation. We want you to do for him what you would do for your child.
Rev, I'm going to come to you in a sec, but you brought up something, Ben, about attacks. And certainly as journalists, we have a keen eye, and I have noticed that the narrative around this story has shifted to the threats that are going to the young men who was with
Here we go.
Nolan. They've hired attorneys who previously represented Donald Trump in cases. They've gone on very MAGA-friendly.
Appreciate you, Nancy King. Thank you for all you do, Introvert Rockstar. Hey, thank you for that 15. I really appreciate that. I smell ritual. Them boys talk so like they were coached. That's a fact. And see, they hate this part. Bless his peace. What's poppin', Chef? They hate this part. They hate that these parents are still doing interviews. They don't like this, bruh. This made their heart drop when they saw this. Like, damn, they not letting it go. Nope.
Friendly podcast, and I just want to make sure that we keep the main thing, the narrative to the victim, to the actual child who died. And I'm curious, Christine, if you can weigh in on what threats have you and your family experienced?
So there has been a big smear campaign, just not only professionally but personally for me, and
They attacked your nursing.
You are
life.
blocked.
yes, so it started out with 1-star reviews of people saying they saw me my office verified that these were incorrect. And then it went so much as to someone contacted the Board of Nursing, and then that opened the investigation for the professional misconduct. There was no evidence presented for that claim. And the investigator I spoke with, he said, we have to do our due diligence. I said, I understand it, I respect it. He was like, I'm sorry it's coming at this time. I was like, no, I get it, do what you have to do, because I know who I am. I know what kind of care I give to my patients. I know the relationship that we have.
See, that's what you do when racist Caucasian people, when they try to control the narrative, you take the narrative back and bring it back to how it all got started. This how you handle these people. You don't let them control the narrative. See, Officer Raccoon, he's so dumb. See, he's looking for clout. He's getting revenge. Officer Raccoon is getting revenge on the police department that fired him. He's trying to show them that he can be an investigator. He can interview these people. That's what he got his own agenda. So that's why his questions are dumb. His questions are weak. This woman is asking all the right questions. She's saying all the right things, and she's not looking for clout. This is the difference. They not looking for clout. Officer Raccoon he's making it worse for those boys. He wants views. And he getting normal views, 150K, 100K, bro, that's normal views. But he thinking he gonna break the internet with this stuff because he have low self-esteem. He's trying to get back to all the people that laughed at him from not making the NFL. He's trying to get back from all the people who laughed at him because he got fired as a police officer and he had to become a YouTuber. That's his agenda. That's why when he asks those questions, everybody like, wait, what the hell he asking? It don't make sense because his heart is not really in it. This woman, her heart is in it. You feel me? So by him looking for clout, he's really setting those boys up. No way in hell they should be talking, innocent or not. Even if they was innocent, they shouldn't even be talking and showing their faces. But that's raccoons and racist people. They love to control the narrative. So remember, they was the first ones to do these. They was the first ones to do these interviews. It was them. You feel me?
And I'm grateful that my patients, a lot of them, are still trusting and loving in the care that they know they're going to get with me. And so these attacks are not going to, it's not going to break me.
Let's go.
I have to find out.
Let's go. That's what I was waiting on. You see, racist Caucasian people and raccoons, they expect you to break down, bruh. They want you to break down when they send out threats. They want you to get fatigued. They want you to stop talking about it. No arrest been made. All this, bro, it's all mind games. No arrest been made. Nobody in trouble. It's all mind games because they want to break you. They want you to just completely shut down. I'm so glad see, bro, this is where I talk about when you want to give up in life. It's people that have lost a child and they still going. So what's your excuse? What's your excuse? It's people that have lost a child in this way and they still going. They not giving up. That's motivation, bruh. Come on, man. I need to hear that shit again. Let's go.
These were incorrect. And then it went so much as to someone contacted the Board of Nursing, and then that opened the investigation for the professional misconduct. There was no evidence presented for that claim.
And the investigator I spoke with, he said, you know, we have to do our due diligence. I said, I understand it, I respect it. He was like, I'm sorry it's coming at this time. I was like, no, I didn't do what you have to do because I know who I am. I know what kind of care I give to my patients. I know the relationship that we have. And I'm grateful that my patients, a lot of them, are so trusting and loving in the care that they know they're going to get with me. And so these attacks are not going to, it's not going to break me.
You see that? You know who's gonna break first? Those white boys. They gonna break. I told y'all, bro, the ancestors don't sleep. They don't sleep. Those boys, one of them, they go break. They gonna break. Officer Raccoon made it even worse by interviewing them. It made it, they don't know how stupid they look. They actually made it worse. They gonna be the ones to break first. Watch. Mark my words. Mark my words.
I have to find out. We have to find out what happened to Nolan. That is the only question we've ever asked. We've never blamed anyone. We've never tried to smear anyone. I know I heard something about the picture. That picture was sent to me because
This is a picture of him on the boat.
on the boat with people.
Yes.
And what it was is they were like, the person was like, Miss Christine, the information is incorrect.
I'm gonna post that.
This is what he was wearing.
I'm gonna post that today.
Because initially he was in black shorts, which again, that is the information I received from Warren, verbally and via text. When she sent me that picture, I was like, oh, completely different color. These are like a blue-gray short. So we have to correct that. But I'm grateful. We are grateful to all of you. Thank you for keeping our son's story alive.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you so much, Tiffany, for having us.
I think that's part of our assignment here, our responsibility. So often in newsrooms, we have to defend and define Black life and defend and define our own humanity. And so it makes a difference. The same way in other newsrooms, when you see someone and you feel like they're familiar, that so happens that they resegregate newsrooms and lay off Black journalists en masse, that goes away. So the people...
Just imagine everything as Black people, bro, that we have to go through to get justice. That's why I made the community post earlier today. That's why I'm so proud of my people. Like I say, we ain't perfect at all. But little by little, bro, no matter what you believe in, if you're a Christian, if you're not a Christian, whatever, all our people still are coming together more and more. We speaking up more and more. And I love that shit, dog. I love it. Like I said, we got raccoons here and there. But for the most part, bro, we speak up, bro. We speak up in the racist ass system. They want us to crash out, but now we smarter now. Now we attacking. See, they want you to crash out. They want you to go to Mississippi and they want you to crash out. So they can use their army, all type of stuff. But see, what really hurts them is when every day you make videos. What really hurts them is every day you mess up their name. What really hurts them when you connect dots. That really hurts them, bro. Because now they can't hide like they used to. Now they can't just move on like they used to. Everybody see the videos. Your videos going viral. That hurts them way more, bro. Trust me. To get on the internet, if you ever had somebody made a negative video about you, the first time, after a while you get used to it, you know, like when you grown, but these dudes are young. So they never getting used to that. You know, at my age, you know, you don't really care. But for them boys to see their faces on social media every day, bro, I'm telling you, they go crack. I'm telling you, bro. If I ever have to come back after this life, I still want to be. Come on, man. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Well, in this room, I have a keen interest in this story because they see your humanity, and that's what we center in this conversation. Rev, put this in historical context for us, because as I look at Mississippi, I don't have to tell you of all people some of the immediate thoughts that surface for us here.
Well, when I got the call from Ben Crump and he had the parents connected, and they told me the story, I'd not heard the story. I heard something about some in Mississippi, but when I heard the details, the thing that jarred me from a civil rights point of view, and I've been working, Ben has come National Action Network for 20-some years, in a case, and then from there on and on and on. And if it's not a civil rights position, we don't get involved. When they told me that law enforcement said there is no foul play, that's a prejudgment. And I said, wait a minute. They said, the parents repeated to me upon, I said, they said it was this 2 days after it happened. And how do you investigate and there's no foul
What's
play
poppin'?
and you don't even know what happened yet? So that's what perked my interest. So I said that, well, we'll be involved and we'll help to the best of our ability. Talked to another day or two. I said, y'all come to New York, we'll have a national press conference. That's how we broke the story. The first national press conference they did at our headquarters, National Action Network. And then all of a sudden, it was all of this attack for getting involved. And so, and they asked me to do the eulogy. I said, we'll take care of the funeral. Tyler Perry called me and said, no, I'll take care of it. So the thing that bothered me, one, it was prejudgment. Second, the parents of the guys that were with him started talking about they was going to sue us for getting involved. And sue, I don't even know the kid's name. So you can't say I defamed your son. I don't know your son's name. But I will say this on this stage. I want them to sue me first. And I tell you why. No, I tell you why. And National Action Network, you serve the papers. Because I want to depose your son. If you sue, the plaintiffs are deposed. So rather than us depend on a Mississippi DA who's already had people saying it was no foul, let's go to civil court, any kind of court you want to go to, because you can't make this make sense. And direct to your point, Tiffany, as I said in the eulogy that I did, I don't know what happened. The parents never said they knew what happened. They never said it was racial. I don't know it was racist, but they don't know it wasn't racist. You don't know what
Exactly.
happened.
And all these officials in Mississippi saying it wasn't racist motivated. I'm like, you wasn't on the island. How do you even know that? This how I know y'all guilty. Mine's I appreciate you. Let's roll. I appreciate that 10. Thank you for that. Thank you. You do not mess with our elders. Your boy said, sue me first.
So why are you
Sincerely,
prejudging
thanks.
that
Hey, appreciate you.
something is
They love me.
there
Appreciate
you
you.
don't want out? Second thing is, and I said this to Elba and Kristen, I had my knee, I had torn my meniscus. And when I tore it, I told Ben the truth. I did it working out one morning, but I told them I got it because I was on my knees praying too much. But anyway, when they took me to say they may have to do surgery,
Appreciate
the
you.
first thing they said is,
Thank you. Thank
we
you.
got to get your medical history from your primary doctor. I said, okay. So I said in the eulogy that I don't know what happened, but I got your history in Mississippi. And the history tells me black boy go out with 3 white kids come back. There's a blurred story of what happened. Now y'all all hostile and all upset. Didn't have the keys, but then you had the keys. Something about this don't make sense given.
TRN student. Hey. Just for, hey, I appreciate you. You already know that. Appreciate everything you do. For real. They try to make this situation go away. They will work day and time. Facts. Thank you, TRN student. Thank you for that. I won't work. That's a fact.
Your history. And I'm going to stay on this until we find out what happened. It may be nothing, but we're not going to leave that up to chance with people that are distorted. We're going to stay on this case. And lastly, since we want to talk about lawsuits, one of the things tying your morning together, Tiffany,
Oh damn. We got your back. Don't worry about nothing. Hey, mine's eye. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate y'all, man. I really appreciate y'all for real.
may come back, as you suggested, playing right-wing politics with this, with the local prosecutor, maybe even with the federal people. But if we have a change in January, and there is a Democratic House, I said
Oh
that
Lord. Okay, I'm done. I'm done now. Niggas talking politics. But I want to say something too, bro. See, back in the day, probably up to the I'm gonna say this. We good? My phone went dead and it's still on. That's crazy. That's crazy. This one's from the real ones. Hey, appreciate you, Mind's Eye. My phone went dead and it's still on. That never happened before. Hey, appreciate that. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Now, before I go, man, I wanted to say, back in the day, these people, they used to kidnap our people or drag them out of prison in Mississippi, find a rope and find a tree. Exactly. Find a rope and find a tree, and they would, you know, what they do to our people, unalive them. And they would take a picture after they did that. The whole town would take a picture. Now, mind you, fast forward to now, that's why they so mad because black Americans keep speaking up. They don't like that. That's why they threaten to sue because they not used to us fighting back, bruh. They not used to that. On post, thank you. They used to put it on postcards, bruh. Bro, go do your research. Even the cigarettes, like the cigarette boxes back then, the labels, it used to be black babies and an alligator behind the black baby, bro. Cigarette advertisement, bro. So when we dealing with these people, this what we dealing with. But today they not brave enough like they was back then. Today they try to hide their racism, but they can't hide, man. We know what Mississippi is. We know what Texas is. We know. These people would drag you out of prison. I'm talking about 1,000 Caucasian men would drag a black man out of prison, a black woman out of prison. They would find a tree and they would find a rope. And after they did that, they would take a picture, bruh, with our people, with our ancestors' legs just dangling. Just go on Google. You will see all the pictures. And they want us to trust them? Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. Who do you think they talking to? Come on. Come on. That's why history is so important, bruh. Because once you know your history, you won't allow that shit no more. And that's why they mad. Because we know what's going on. We see right through it. They can't stand that shit. They can't stand it. Strange fruit. Come on, man. If you know, you know. Come on. They whole bloodline, racism. Racism. But you got tethers and raccoons Oh, Black America, they always talk about racism, playing the victim. Ain't nobody playing no victim, stupid. You the victim. You the one that ran from your own country to come here. Because you think money is end all, be all. And it's not. Come on. Y'all preaching, man. Come on. So it's up to us, man, to keep using our platforms to acknowledge what's going on with our people. Because they love to catch you when you're by yourself. That's it. They the real cowards. They love to wear masks and hoods, and that's it. Keep connecting the dots. That's it, man. That's it. And I love that Nolan Wells' parents, they not giving up. I love that, dog. Now, God forbid, but when things like this happen again, Black families are paying attention. Don't give up. Make them uncomfortable. If you can't sleep, they shouldn't be able to sleep. Them boys go crack, bro. Sooner or later, they go crack. Facts. Everything that we're criticized for, they created those problems. Come on, man. Now, this I be trying to say. Everything that we're criticized for, they created those problems, but we're going to fix all of it. Let's go. Let's go. On that note, I'm out, man. Empress Prototype, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody for joining this live, man. This is a great live today. We work. Tomorrow we back to the videos. I appreciate y'all, dog. You know, like I say, keep speaking up for your people, man. We got to get back to the Black Wall Streets where we exchanging things with each other, where we trading with each other. We got our own doctors, our own hospitals, our own banks. We got to get back to that, bruh. We got to get back to that. Our own police. That's why I love New Orleans so much, bruh, because, you know, damn near all your police officers, for real, are Black. You got your dirty ones, but you got your ones that's patient with people too, you know? We have to speak for each other because it could be one of us tomorrow. That's a fact, Ashley. I appreciate you for real. That's a fact. It could be one of us tomorrow, man. And you'll want the same acknowledgement, the same love, you know? So I appreciate everybody, man. I appreciate all the super chats, dog. Like, I really appreciate y'all. I know y'all work hard for y'all money, so sending me super chats, hey, I don't beg for nothing. I really just put the work in, and I appreciate y'all for real, no lie. So, hey, tomorrow got video dropping. This weekend we're going live again. So, hey, I will see y'all. I appreciate all y'all as well.